What's up, guys, and welcome back to a video on the channel, and welcome to your Arsenal versus Brentford match preview and predicted lineups. The game's coming thick and fast now, guys, and we do face Brentford on Wednesday evening at the Emirates Stadium, 7:30 kickoff. It's something you guys need to know. We're going to talk team news, predicted lineups, what to expect for Brentford, and of course, give you my overall score prediction towards the end. Make sure before you do start, you smash like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. And also get in the comments down below and leave your score predictions and what you think about the game. But let's get right into it. Of course, very disappointing result against Chelsea, the 1-1 draw. I still look at it as some points drop considering the circumstances of the game that lives down to 10 men. But we take that with 5 points clear still, and we move on to the Bees. Brentford at home. Now, you'd be looking into this game thinking we should be the favourites, but at the same time, bit of credit goes to Brentford this season because when you think about them losing Thomas Frank, when you think about them losing some of their key players, Brian and Brumo, Wizard, they've actually really played well this season. You know, if I quickly show you guys the table right now, I think they find themselves in mid-table, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, they're literally 10th place, 19 points. You know, they're in a very decent position to be fair. They're only a win away, really, from, Man United, to be fair. So they have actually had a very good start to the season. They've won 6 games. They've drew one. They have lost quite a few, but it's not like, oh, they've lost Thomas Frank and they've lost their key players are going to get relegated. I think a lot of people tip them to go down this season. It doesn't seem that way. I mean, they've got a pretty comfortable lead in terms of West Ham are here in 17th on 11 points, where Leeds are as well. And it seems to me that Brentford's, the way how they've gone about it this season, they will stay up, it looks like. And credit to them, you know. I think Thomas Frank did really good with them when he was manager. Definitely overachieved with them, you know, when he got them first promoted and then had them a sort of a well-established side in the Premier League, you know. I think he had that one season where almost they pushed for a Europeans place. I think that was actually last season, though. So they've always been a side that have been a team that's just been well established, that they'd not really have that fear of going down. If they do have that fear of going down, they always find a way to stay up, really. And I think it's going to be the same, of course, under Keith Andrews now. You know, he's carried on that. And, you know, they're having a very, very good start to the season. And they're in a very decent position, you know, for their point of view. If we obviously look into some of their fixtures this season, some of the results, obviously, they got a good win against Burnley. They lost to Brighton away. You know, they beat Newcastle at home. Obviously, the Palace game they lost. Obviously, they beat Liverpool at home, you know, 3-2. West Ham away was a good win. Gave Man City a really good game, just losing out by 1 goal. Beat Man United 3-1 at home as well. It does seem that at home they're more strong. I mean, you look away to Fulham. They knocked out Villa in the Carabao Cup. They got a draw with Chelsea at home. Sunderland beat them away. It does seem that, yeah, at home, obviously they lost that first game to Forest, didn't they? Um, but they beat Villa at home. They beat Villa 1-0 at home. It does seem that their home form is very, very good. Whereas I think they've only lost 1 game at home, and this was this game, the Man City game, if I'm not wrong, if I quickly just double check that. Yeah. Whereas away from home is where they sort of struggle a little bit. So it's good that we're at the Emirates and, you know, that we're not going to the G-Tech, because the G-Tech's a really tough place to go to. Um, And I just showed you the home record there. And I think they've always really had a decent home record, haven't they, to be fair, Brentford? But yeah, I mean, if we take you through their team right now, I think some of the key players to watch out for, people, is this man right here. What a season this guy's having. Where is he? Where are you? Igor Thiago. He says he could be doubtful for the game, you know. He could be doubtful for the game, but this is the main man to watch for Brentford, people. Igor Thiago, 24 years of age. Has scored, I think, yeah, 12 goals. 11 goals in 13 starts for Brentford, and yeah, he definitely is that sort of danger man that we've got to watch out for. If I actually take you through their how they sort of set up as well, and you know, sort of what to expect. If I go to their last game very quickly against Burnley, we're talking about the tactical approach sort of thing from Keith Andrews, but it seems that they have been playing. And Brentford fans, any Brentford fans watching could tell us about how they usually set up. But seems to be going with a 4-2-3-1 in the last game. Got players like Kelly Ayer, of course, who was at Liverpool. This guy, listen, people, you know me and my Italian football as well, right? Michael Coyote, this guy, wow. 21 years of age. This is another one we got to watch out for. What a season he's having. Even when he was at, I think it's Fiorentina last season in Serie A, and I was like, this guy needs a big move away. He is very, very good, man. He's definitely a player, to watch out for. Michael Coyote. Remember this guy's name because only 21, had a really good start to Premier League season. He's one we got to definitely keep an eye on. But it does say that Igor Thiago, the top goal scorer of 11 goals, is actually missing. This guy just seems to be just a goal. This is the thing with Brentford. They've always had decent attackers, to be fair. This guy as well, who's at Bournemouth. He's at Bournemouth last season. He's not a bad player. Um, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think he's at Bournemouth last season. I think they signed him this season. Damsgaard as well. Damsgaard's, again, very underrated player. Very good. See, like Brentford they've always had these good attackers. You think about Wizard, who scored many goals last season. You think about Brian and Bumo, scored many good goals last season as well. Ivan Toney that they had when they first got promoted, and they haven't really seemed to be missing him. But now they just sort of followed that through with players like Igor Thiago and Damsgaard. So, yeah, they can obviously they do have that threat if Thiago is fit, and if he's not fit, that's a massive boost for Arsenal. It really is. Obviously, you've got players like Reece Nelson returning who can't play this game because it's just a loan deal, and the whole thing there that's not allowed. But yeah, Brentford's injuries. They've still got Josh De Silva out, and they've got Fabio Carvalho out for the season as well. That's sort of with the team news. For Arsenal's sort of team news, we have the big one with William Saliba, who did actually get injured in training. Give me a second, guys. I don't know what's happened here. Yes. So hold on. What has happened here? I just want to go to the team news quickly. Here we go. My bad. Right. Yes. So with Arsenal's point of view, Saliba still got a knock. He did get a knock in training, so we have to wait and see. I'm filming this on the Monday before Arteta's press conference, so we have to wait and see what happens, what he says about that. So of course, Trossard should be fit for the game. Reports coming out that he will be with the squad. Again, we have to wait what Arteta says in his press conference, but he should be fit for the game. Havertz still very doubtful. Gabriel certainly going to be out, but we have players returning. Gabriel Jesus is back. He is returning it. He's on the bench. Gyökeres was on the bench yesterday as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see the sort of selection and lineup that they go with. Obviously, Brentford's predicted lineups here. Now, how they're going to approach the game, I think we know what they're going to do. It's going to be at the Emirates. It's going to be the low block. Simple as that, really. I think, Brentford, their intelligence side, they're not going to come and go toe-to-toe of Arsenal. They're going to sit back, make it frustrating, but then they're going to have that counter-attack. And I've seen, they've been getting quite a lot of penalties this season as well, Brentford. But they'll be looking for that, I think. I think the only way we really concede is from maybe like we did against Chelsea with a corner, with a set piece, with a penalty, or just down to our own mistakes, really. But I think Brentford will come and definitely play the low block and make it frustrating for Arsenal, try and be physical with us, and then use those counter-attack. The transitional players, or Coyote, who can bomb forward for them at times. Damsgaard, when he gets on the ball, can make stuff happen. Thiago, as I spoke about a minute ago. But I do think we are going to win this game. And more on that comes the end of the video. We're going to move right into my predicted. So predicted lineup wise, so this is what I've gone with, what I like to see, but I may have to change this around just to see what Arteta is going to go with. But I expect it to be, of course, David Raya in goal. I think we'll go Drew and Timber right back. People will talk about rotating for this game because Villa's on Saturday, but I think this is a must-win. This has got to be a must-win game, considering that we dropped points against Chelsea. 5 points clear now. Obviously, Fulham, Man City most likely to beat Fulham, so we can't afford to be dropping points here as well. I think go fully strength, really. So yeah, Timber at right back. Then I do expect Mosquera and Nketiah to be the two centre backs once again, due to the fact I still don't think that obviously Saliba will be back for this one. If he is, of course, he goes straight back in there. And I would probably play him alongside Nketiah. I'll play Nketiah Saliba, but I do think it's going to be Mosquera and Nketiah it's important that these two, I mean, they was never going to really hit the ground running together straight away. As a centre back pairing, they have not got that chemistry there like Saliba and Gabriel do. So, I think there's no doubt about that in Capi and Mosquera, the two very good players, but playing them together, it's going to take some time for them to adapt playing without Saliba, without Gabriel there, isn't it? But yeah, I think for this game, it's going to be them again. It's got to be Ricardo Calafiori as the left back. Bit disappointed that he maybe got subbed off. I know he's on a yellow card, but I don't think he had a bad game against Chelsea. So I think that should be the back four there. And then we're going to go into the midfield. So my midfield three would actually be this against Brentford as well. We need to think about that they're playing the low block. Okay, I mean, they need the amount of creativity. We need as much creativity as possible. So I like the idea of playing Odegaard and Eze together, and he did do that against Chelsea until he took off Eze, which I was quite surprised about. I would have kept Eze on. Eze was not playing great, but I would have kept him on anyway to have that to go for the goal, basically. And I think so. These two can play together, like Odegaard and Eze, and then just Rice in behind. But expect it to maybe be similar with Zubamendi coming in there with Eze and Rice in the midfield three. But my midfield three will be Odegaard, Eze together. And we've done that a few times this season. And then I go Declan Rice just in behind. The front three for me, Saka on the right, didn't have the greatest. I mean, got the assist, but didn't have his greatest of games. But I think he's going to start on the right. Trossard is going to be key for me. If he's back, starts for me. He's been our best attacker. Honestly, this season he's been one of our best players and one of our best attackers. He's had a great start to the season. So he's on the left, and then leading the line has got to be Victor Gyökeres off the bench against Chelsea. I would start him for this game. He's back from his injury. And then obviously on the bench, we still got players like Noni Madueke, Martinelli, Jesus, some attackers there. So this would be my team. Is Arteta going to do this? He may go Marino again if he don't feel Gyökeres is fully ready to start the game. And he may go with, if Trossard's not fit, hopefully, if Trossard's not fit, he's got to start Noni Madueke on the left-hand side. And then maybe Martinelli, one of the two there. But yeah, that is my team right there. My score prediction, guys, I'm going to go with an Arsenal win. Not many goals. I'm going to go 2-1, But are we going to concede? I'm between 2-0 and 2-1, actually. I'm going to go, you know what? Clean sheet. Clean sheet. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal for the game. 2-0 Arsenal, clean sheet. We get the 3 points and we move to the big game. Well, this is a big game, but the one I'm looking ahead is the Villa away, which I'm concerned about. But we'll talk more about that after the Brentford game. We need to get through Brentford first, not underestimate them, and get the 3 points and move on. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Arsenal. 2-0, 2-0. Yeah, clean sheet. 2-0 to Arsenal. Leo British down below. Make sure you smash like on the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always,